It's 11:47 p.m. on a Thursday night in Tokyo, 1971. The air is thick with cigarette smoke and the gentle hum of conversations in a tiny bar tucked between a ramen shop and a bookstore. A middle-aged businessman loosens his tie, steps up to a makeshift stage no bigger than a closet, and begins singing My Way in heavily accented English to a backing track crackling from a small speaker. His colleagues clap along, sake warming their cheeks, and something magical happens. For 3 minutes and 35 seconds, this tired salesman becomes Frank Sinatra. Did you know that early karaoke machines accidentally deleted bass lines along with vocals, creating that distinctive hollow sound we now associate with authentic karaoke? And did you know that in Japan, major business deals are often sealed not in boardrooms, but in karaoke booths at 2 a.m.? Tonight on Midnight Deep Dive, we're exploring the surprisingly rich history and enduring magic of karaoke. A simple invention that has fundamentally changed how we express ourselves, connect with others, and find courage in the spotlight. So settle in, close your eyes, and let yourself drift peacefully as we uncover the complete story of karaoke. That beautiful, terrifying, magical act of singing your heart out in front of strangers who, for just a few minutes, become your biggest fans. In the early 1970s, Daisuke Inoue was not what you'd call a successful musician. The 31-year-old keyboard player performed in coffee shops and small clubs in Kobe, Japan, his fingers dancing across keys to backing tracks for singers who were often only marginally more talented than their audiences. But Inoue possessed something more valuable than perfect pitch. He had an understanding of human nature that would accidentally change the world. The moment of inspiration came, as many great ideas do, from pure practicality. A businessman approached Inoue, explaining that he needed musical backing for a company trip, but couldn't afford to bring the whole band. Could Inoue record just the instrumental parts? The request was simple, but the implications were revolutionary. For the first time, ordinary people could perform with professional quality musical accompaniment, transforming any space into a stage and any person into a performer. Inoue's first karaoke machine was beautifully primitive. A car stereo connected to a microphone and a coin box, all housed in a wooden cabinet that he built himself. He charged 100 yen for 3 songs, roughly equivalent to $1 today. The name he chose was equally simple and poetic, karaoke, combining kara, meaning empty, and oke, short for orchestra. An empty orchestra, waiting to be filled with voices. What Inoue couldn't have predicted was how desperately people wanted to fill that emptiness. Japanese culture, with its emphasis on group harmony and social hierarchy, had always made individual expression challenging. But in the soft glow of a karaoke booth, with friends cheering and sake flowing, even the most reserved salaryman could become a rock star. The rigid social structures that governed daylight hours melted away in the warm embrace of melody and microphone feedback. The early machines were temperamental creatures. The backing tracks, recorded on magnetic tape that stretched and warped with use, would gradually drift out of tune, creating an otherworldly warble that became part of karaoke's charm. The microphones picked up every breath, every nervous swallow, every whispered encouragement from the audience. But these technical imperfections only added to the intimacy of the experience. Within months of placing his first machines in local bars, Inoue noticed something remarkable happening. Regular customers began requesting specific songs, memorizing lyrics, and developing signature performances. The karaoke machine wasn't just providing entertainment, it was creating a new form of social ritual. Businessmen who barely spoke to each other during the day were now sharing emotional ballads and laughing together over botched high notes. The revolution spread through Japan like wildfire in dry grass. By 1975, karaoke machines could be found in thousands of bars, restaurants, and coffee shops across the country. Manufacturers began producing more sophisticated models with better sound quality, larger song libraries, and eventually, those mesmerizing lyric displays that would scroll across small screens in perfect synchronization with the music. But perhaps the most beautiful aspect of this early karaoke culture was its democracy. In a society where social status traditionally determined who could speak and when, karaoke created a space where the janitor could command the same attention and applause as the company president. The microphone became an equalizer, and the stage, however small and improvised, became sacred ground where anyone could shine. Inoue himself, ironically, never patented his invention. While others would go on to make fortunes from karaoke technology, he remained content knowing that his simple idea had given millions of people a voice. Years later, he would reflect that his greatest achievement wasn't the machine itself, but the confidence it gave people to sing without shame, to express themselves without fear, and to discover that their voice, however imperfect, had value and deserved to be heard. As the 1980s dawned in Japan, karaoke was evolving from a barroom novelty into a cultural institution. But it was the invention of the karaoke box, or karaoke can, that would truly transform how people experienced this musical phenomenon. Imagine walking down the neon-lit streets of Shibuya, past the traditional bars where karaoke had first taken root, and discovering something entirely new. Private rooms where you and your friends could sing without judgment, without strangers, and without time limits beyond the coins in your pocket. The first karaoke boxes appeared in Okayama in 1984, born from a simple observation. People loved karaoke, but many were still too shy to perform in front of strangers. The solution was elegantly Japanese. Create intimate spaces where small groups could enjoy the karaoke experience in privacy. These early boxes were often converted from shipping containers or small commercial spaces, soundproofed and equipped with better audio systems than most professional recording studios. Picture stepping into one of these early karaoke boxes on a Friday evening. The room is small, perhaps 8 feet by 10 feet, with plush bench seating along 2 walls and a small table in the center, laden with ashtrays, snacks, and drinks. The walls are covered in soft fabric that absorbs sound and features, and a television screen glows warmly in the corner, displaying a mesmerizing array of song choices. The air conditioning hums quietly, mixing with the muffled sounds of other groups singing in adjacent rooms, creating a cocoon of musical possibility. The psychological shift was profound. In public karaoke settings, people often chose safe, crowd-pleasing songs, standards that everyone knew and could sing along with. But in the privacy of a karaoke box, inhibitions evaporated like morning mist. Businessmen attempted death metal. Teenage girls crooned jazz standards. Elderly couples duetted on love songs they'd shared for decades. The karaoke box became a laboratory for musical experimentation and emotional expression. The technology evolved rapidly to meet this new demand. Song libraries expanded from hundreds to thousands, with regular updates introducing the latest hits alongside timeless classics. The lyric display systems became more sophisticated, with color-coded text that highlighted upcoming words and phrases. Some machines even began offering primitive vocal enhancement, adding reverb and echo that made everyone sound like they were performing in a cathedral. But the real magic happened in the social dynamics. Karaoke boxes became the venue of choice for office parties, birthday celebrations, dates, and family gatherings. The rotating microphone created a natural rhythm of performance and audience, with each person getting their moment in the spotlight, while others provided encouragement, backup vocals, or gentle mockery. It was participatory entertainment at its finest, where everyone was both performer and audience. The Golden Age brought innovation after innovation. Themed rooms appeared, decorated to match musical genres or popular culture phenomena. Some boxes featured disco balls and stage lighting that pulsed with the beat. Others offered costume rentals, allowing singers to fully embrace their musical alter egos. The more elaborate establishments featured rooms with multiple microphones, allowing for complex harmonies and group performances that rivaled professional concerts in their emotional intensity, if not their technical precision. The economic impact was staggering. By the late 1980s, karaoke had become a multi-billion yen industry in Japan, with major chains like Big Echo and Karaoke Can establishing thousands of locations across the country. These weren't just entertainment venues. They were social infrastructure, providing a release valve for a culture that often demanded emotional restraint in public spaces. The karaoke box also began to reveal something profound about human nature. Given the opportunity and a supportive environment, almost everyone is a performer at heart. Salary workers who spent their days in silent concentration over spreadsheets would transform into passionate crooners. Students who barely spoke up in class would command the room with confident rap performances. The karaoke box didn't just accommodate this transformation, it celebrated and nurtured it. As word of this innovation spread beyond Japan's borders, entrepreneurs and entertainment executives around the world took notice. The concept was simple enough to replicate, but complex enough in its cultural implications to ensure that karaoke boxes would need to adapt to local customs and preferences wherever they landed. The golden age of karaoke boxes had begun in Japan, but its influence would soon echo around the globe, carrying with it the revolutionary idea that everyone deserves a stage, a spotlight, and an audience that cheers them on. The year was 1982 when karaoke first crossed the Pacific Ocean, packed into shipping containers alongside other Japanese exports like electronics and automobiles. But unlike those manufactured goods, karaoke carried something intangible yet powerful. The promise that anyone, anywhere, could be a star for 3 minutes and 37 seconds. Its journey to America began not in glittering Los Angeles recording studios or Broadway theaters, but in modest Japanese restaurants in cities with large Japanese populations. Los Angeles, San Francisco, Seattle, and New York. Picture the scene at Yamato Restaurant in downtown Los Angeles on a Tuesday evening in 1982. The sushi bar has closed, the last California rolls have been served, and the staff is preparing to transform the dining room into something entirely new for American audiences. They wheel out a boxy machine with a microphone cord snaking across tatami mats, and suddenly the quiet restaurant becomes an intimate concert venue. The first brave souls are mostly Japanese expatriates, homesick for the karaoke boxes of Tokyo and Osaka, but American diners begin to gather curiously at the periphery, drawn by the unusual spectacle of businessmen in suits crooning "My Way" with surprising passion. The cultural translation wasn't immediate or easy. American bar culture had its own traditions: jukeboxes that played recorded music, live bands on weekends, perhaps the occasional amateur night at comedy clubs. The idea of standing up in front of strangers to sing along to backing tracks seemed, to many Americans, either terrifying or ridiculous. Early karaoke venues struggled to build audiences, often relying on drink specials and themed nights to draw curious customers. But something magical happened when Americans finally embraced the microphone. The same transformative power that had captivated Japanese audiences began working its spell in American dive bars, Italian restaurants, and VFW halls across the country. The cultural differences actually enhanced the experience. Where Japanese karaoke had been about group harmony and social bonding, American karaoke became more individualistic and performance-oriented. Americans weren't content to simply sing along. They wanted to entertain, to show off, to turn their 3 minutes into a memorable performance. The song choices revealed fascinating cultural insights. While Japanese karaoke singers often gravitated toward enka, traditional Japanese ballads, and popular standards, American audiences embraced rock anthems, country heartbreak songs, and Motown classics. Sweet Caroline became a communal sing-along experience. Don't Stop Believin' transformed every small-town bar into Madison Square Garden. Patsy Cline's Crazy provided the soundtrack for countless moments of liquid courage and emotional release. The British adoption of karaoke followed a different pattern entirely. Arriving in the UK in the mid-1980s, karaoke found its natural home in pubs, those traditional gathering places where community songs and audience participation already had deep roots. British karaoke developed its own character, less polished than Japanese karaoke boxes and less theatrical than American performances. It became about community spirit, gentle ribbing among friends, and the peculiarly British art of not taking oneself too seriously, while secretly caring very much about the performance. In London pubs, karaoke nights became institutions. The microphone would pass from the regular who did a pitch-perfect "My Girl" every Friday to the tourist attempting a cricket chant set to music, to the elderly couple who had been singing love letters together for 20 years. The British embraced karaoke with characteristic wit and self-deprecation, creating an atmosphere where being slightly rubbish was almost preferred to being too good. Each culture that embraced karaoke reshaped it to fit local customs and preferences. In Australia, karaoke found its way to beach resorts and outback pubs, where Waltzing Matilda shared billing with international hits. In Canada, bilingual karaoke nights featured songs in French and English, sometimes within the same performance. In Germany, precision-loving audiences created elaborate scoring systems and competitions that would have impressed the most dedicated Japanese karaoke enthusiasts. The technology had to adapt as well. Song libraries were localized, with American machines featuring country music and classic rock that had never been popular in Japan. British systems included pub sing-alongs and football chants. Each regional adaptation required not just translation, but cultural interpretation. Understanding which songs would resonate with local audiences and which performance styles would feel natural rather than forced. What remained constant across all these cultural adaptations was the fundamental appeal of karaoke. The opportunity to step outside your everyday self and become someone else for a few minutes. Whether in a Tokyo karaoke box, a London pub, or an American sports bar, people discovered that the microphone had the power to transform not just their voice, but their entire presence. Shy accountants became confident performers. Reserved librarians channeled their inner divas. Tough construction workers revealed unexpected tenderness through ballads. By the end of the 1980s, karaoke had become a truly global phenomenon, adapting and evolving in each new culture while maintaining its essential magic. It had proven that some human experiences transcend cultural boundaries. The desire to sing, to be heard, to transform oneself through music, and to share that transformation with others. The empty orchestra had found its voice in dozens of languages and hundreds of different cultural contexts, but the song it sang was universal. Everyone deserves their moment in the spotlight. Behind every wobbly rendition of My Heart Will Go On, and every triumphant group sing-along of Bohemian Rhapsody, lies a fascinating web of technology that most karaoke singers never think about. The magic appears effortless. You select a song, the music begins, the lyrics appear on screen, and suddenly you're Celine Dion or Freddie Mercury. But creating this seamless illusion requires sophisticated audio engineering, clever software design, and decades of technological evolution that transformed karaoke from a simple tape recorder with a microphone into the digital entertainment systems we know today. The earliest karaoke machines were marvels of analog ingenuity. Picture the inner workings of Daisuke Inoue's original 1971 invention. a standard cassette tape player modified to output only the instrumental tracks, connected to a small amplifier, and a microphone with a volume control that allowed singers to hear themselves over the backing music. The magic happened through a technique called vocal removal or center channel extraction. Since most vocals in recorded music are mixed to the center of the stereo field, early karaoke creators discovered they could subtract the left channel from the right channel, canceling out much of the lead vocal while preserving instruments that were mixed to one side or the other. But this analog approach had charming limitations that became part of karaoke's character. The vocal removal was never perfect. Traces of the original singer often remained, creating ghostly harmonies that experienced karaoke singers learned to sing along with or against. Bass guitars and kick drums, also typically centered in the mix, would disappear along with the vocals, creating backing tracks with an oddly hollow sound that nonetheless became the signature of authentic karaoke. The introduction of CD plus G, compact disc plus graphics, in the late 1980s revolutionized the karaoke experience. These specially formatted CDs contained not just audio tracks, but also graphics data that could display lyrics synchronized with the music. The technical achievement was remarkable. Engineers had to embed time-coded text data in the unused portions of the audio CD format, creating discs that could play as regular CDs in any player, but would display scrolling lyrics when connected to karaoke equipment. The visual presentation became an art form in itself. Early CD plus G graphics were limited to 16 colors and simple fonts, but creative designers made the most of these constraints. Lyrics would scroll across tropical beach scenes, city skylines, or abstract patterns that pulsed with the rhythm. The text itself became choreographed. Words would appear in different colors to indicate different vocal parts. Upcoming lyrics would be highlighted to help nervous singers prepare, and sometimes background graphics would change to match the mood of the song. The transition to digital systems in the 1990s opened up possibilities that analog technology couldn't match. Digital karaoke machines could store thousands of songs on hard drives instead of requiring racks of CDs. The sound quality improved dramatically. Instead of relying on imperfect vocal removal, songs could be recorded from scratch as proper karaoke versions, with professional musicians playing the exact arrangements while leaving space for the singer's voice. The microphone technology evolved as well, addressing the unique challenges of karaoke performance. Unlike recording studio microphones designed to capture subtle details, karaoke microphones needed to be forgiving of poor technique while still making singers sound good. Engineers developed microphones with built-in pop filters to reduce breathing sounds, frequency response curves that flattered the human voice, and robust construction that could survive being dropped, spilled on, and enthusiastically waved around during passionate performances. Audio processing became increasingly sophisticated. Modern karaoke systems include digital reverb that can make a small bar sound like a cathedral, pitch correction that gently guides off-key singers back to the melody without being obvious about it, and vocal enhancement that adds warmth and presence to voices that might sound thin through a basic PA system. The goal was never to make bad singers sound professional, but to make every singer sound like the best possible version of themselves. The screen technology evolved from simple CRT monitors displaying basic text to high-definition displays showing music videos, animated backgrounds, and karaoke-specific visual effects. Modern systems can display full-motion backgrounds that match the song's theme, lyrics that dance and zoom with the rhythm, and even primitive visual effects that respond to the singer's voice level and timing. But perhaps the most impressive technological achievement is the real-time synchronization that makes karaoke work. The system must display lyrics at exactly the right moment, adjust for different song tempos, and maintain perfect timing even when songs are played at different keys to accommodate singers' vocal ranges. This requires precise timing algorithms and sophisticated audio processing that can transpose entire musical arrangements up or down while maintaining their character and feel. The networking capabilities of modern karaoke systems would astonish the creators of those early tape-based machines. Contemporary karaoke setups can access cloud-based song libraries with hundreds of thousands of tracks, receive real-time updates with new releases, and even allow remote song requests through smartphone apps. Singers can queue up their selections from their table, rate their favorite performances, and share videos of their singing on social media platforms. Yet for all these technological marvels, the essential magic of karaoke remains beautifully simple: a microphone, some backing music, and the courage to sing. The technology serves the experience, not the other way around. The most sophisticated pitch correction and the most dazzling visual effects mean nothing without that fundamental human desire to stand up, grab the microphone, and transform oneself through song. Technology made karaoke possible and continues to improve the experience. But it can't create the moment of connection between singer and audience, the rush of adrenaline before the first verse, or the warm glow of accomplishment after nailing that challenging high note. Those elements remain beautifully, essentially human. Open the black metal housing of a professional karaoke machine, and you'll discover a miniature world of electronic wizardry that would make recording engineers weep with joy. But this isn't the sterile, clinical environment of a professional studio. This is technology designed for the beautiful chaos of amateur performance, built to withstand spilled drinks, enthusiastic microphone drops, and the occasional amateur who decides to test the system's limits with a death metal scream that could wake the dead 3 blocks away. At the heart of every karaoke machine lies the audio processor, a specialized computer that juggles multiple complex tasks simultaneously. It must play high-quality backing tracks while mixing in the live microphone signal, apply real-time audio effects like reverb and echo, and monitor audio levels to prevent feedback. That ear-splitting shriek that happens when microphones get too close to speakers. The processor operates in real time with minimal delay, because even a fraction of a second's lag between singing and hearing your voice through the speakers can throw off even experienced performers. The digital signal processing that happens inside this box is remarkably sophisticated. Modern karaoke machines include multiband equalizers that can boost or cut specific frequency ranges, automatically adjusting to flatter different voice types. A built-in compressor gently reduces the volume of the loudest parts of a singer's performance while boosting quieter passages, creating a more consistent sound that prevents the timid singer from being inaudible and the enthusiastic performer from blowing out everyone's eardrums. The storage system tells the story of technological evolution in miniature. Early digital karaoke machines used hard drives that held perhaps 5,000 songs, already a vast improvement over CD-based systems that required physical disk changes. Modern systems might contain solid-state drives with 100,000 songs or more, including multiple versions of popular tracks in different keys and styles. Some machines can access cloud-based libraries with hundreds of thousands of songs, updated monthly with new releases, and obscure requests from dedicated karaoke enthusiasts. The user interface deserves special attention, because it must be simultaneously sophisticated enough to handle complex searches and simple enough for someone who's had a few drinks to navigate successfully. The best karaoke interfaces understand that their users might be searching for that song that goes, "Sweet Caroline, ba ba ba," or something by that singer with the beard. Advanced search algorithms can match partial lyrics, artist names, or even hummed melodies to the correct song, turning the karaoke machine into a musical detective that solves mysteries of half-remembered choruses. The microphone system is where engineering meets psychology. Professional karaoke microphones must be rugged enough to survive being dropped, spilled on, and accidentally used as percussion instruments during particularly enthusiastic performances. They feature internal shock mounts that isolate the sensitive microphone element from handling noise, pop filters that reduce breathing sounds, and frequency response curves specifically tuned for amateur vocal performances. The wireless microphone technology adds another layer of complexity. These systems must maintain clear, interference-free transmission while dealing with the challenging radio frequency environment of modern entertainment venues. They include sophisticated diversity reception systems that use multiple antennas to ensure the signal remains strong even when the singer moves around or when other electronic devices create interference. The audio mixing board, often hidden from users but accessible to venue operators, provides fine-tuned control over the karaoke experience. Professional installations include separate volume controls for music and vocals, adjustable echo and reverb effects, and sometimes even pitch correction systems that can gently guide off-key singers back toward the melody. The goal isn't to make bad singers sound professional, but to give everyone the confidence that comes from sounding like the best possible version of themselves. The video display system has evolved from simple text overlays to sophisticated multimedia presentations. Modern karaoke machines can display high-definition background videos that match the song's theme, animated lyrics that bounce and highlight in perfect synchronization with the music, and even real-time visual effects that respond to the singer's voice level and timing. Some systems include camera inputs that can overlay the singer's image onto themed backgrounds, creating music video-style performances that can be recorded and shared. The networking capabilities of contemporary karaoke systems would astonish the creators of early analog machines. Modern systems can connect to the internet to download new songs, receive software updates, and even allow remote management by venue operators. Some machines include social media integration that lets singers share their performances directly to Facebook or Instagram, turning every karaoke night into a potential viral video opportunity. But perhaps the most impressive aspect of karaoke machine design is how all these complex systems work together invisibly. The user experience remains beautifully simple. Choose a song, pick up the microphone, and sing. Behind that simplicity lies decades of engineering refinement, countless hours of user testing, and the accumulated wisdom of understanding exactly what makes a great karaoke performance possible. The reliability requirements are unlike any other audio equipment. A recording studio mixer might be used a few hours per day in a controlled environment, but a karaoke machine in a busy bar runs 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, operated by customers who range from gentle music lovers to enthusiastic performers who treat the equipment like props in their personal rock opera. Every component must be overbuilt, every connection must be secure, and every software routine must handle unexpected inputs gracefully. Yet for all this technological complexity, the magic of karaoke still comes down to that moment when the music starts. The lyrics appear on screen, and an ordinary person becomes, for 3 minutes and 47 seconds, exactly the performer they've always dreamed of being. The machine makes it possible, but the courage, the joy, and the transformation, those remain beautifully, essentially human. There's something profoundly vulnerable about standing in front of strangers with a microphone in your hand, waiting for the opening notes of Total Eclipse of the Heart to begin. Your palms are slightly damp, your heart is beating just a little too fast, and there's a voice in your head asking what exactly you think you're doing. Yet millions of people voluntarily put themselves in this position every night, driven by psychological forces that are as fascinating as they are universal. At its core, karaoke taps into one of humanity's most fundamental drives, the need for self-expression and recognition. We are storytelling creatures, and singing is one of our oldest forms of narrative. When someone chooses to perform My Way, they're not just attempting to hit the right notes. They're claiming ownership of the song's defiant independence, trying on Frank Sinatra's confidence like a perfectly tailored suit. For 3 minutes and 35 seconds, they become the protagonist of their own story, with a room full of people paying attention to every word. The transformation that occurs when someone picks up a karaoke microphone is remarkable to observe. The quiet accountant who barely speaks up in meetings suddenly commands the room with a powerful rendition of respect. The reserved librarian channels Aretha Franklin's fierce confidence. The awkward teenager discovers their voice through punk rock anthems that give their angst a melody and a rhythm. Karaoke provides a socially acceptable framework for people to explore aspects of their personality that everyday life rarely allows them to express. The psychological safety of karaoke comes from its inherent absurdity. Everyone understands that this isn't a professional performance. It's play, it's experimentation, it's the adult equivalent of childhood dress-up games. This shared understanding creates permission to be imperfect, to take risks, to attempt songs that are clearly beyond your vocal range simply because you love them. The audience isn't expecting perfection. They're celebrating the courage it takes to try. Alcohol often plays a supporting role in this psychological transformation, but it's not the primary driver that many people assume. Research has shown that regular karaoke performers often sing just as confidently when sober. The alcohol simply accelerates a confidence-building process that would happen naturally over time. What matters more is the gradual exposure to performance anxiety and the repeated experience of surviving, and even enjoying, being the center of attention. The group dynamics of karaoke create a unique form of social bonding. When someone takes the stage, the rest of the audience temporarily suspends their own egos to become supporters and cheerleaders. This role reversal, where everyone takes turns being vulnerable performer and encouraging audience, creates connections that can feel surprisingly intimate. Strangers who sing together often report feeling like they've shared something meaningful, even if they never learn each other's names. The psychology of song choice reveals layers of personality and aspiration. Some people always choose songs they know they can handle well. They're safe songs that build confidence and guarantee applause. Others deliberately pick challenging songs as a form of personal dare, using karaoke as a low-stakes way to push their boundaries. Still others select songs that tell their life story, using the lyrics as a form of autobiography set to music. There's a therapeutic quality to karaoke that mental health professionals have begun to recognize and study. The act of singing releases endorphins and reduces stress hormones, while the social support of a karaoke audience provides validation and connection. For people dealing with social anxiety, karaoke can serve as a form of exposure therapy, gradually building comfort with being the center of attention in a supportive, non-threatening environment. The fear of public singing often stems from childhood experiences. Being told you couldn't sing, feeling embarrassed in school music classes, or simply growing up in environments where musical expression wasn't encouraged. Karaoke provides a second chance at musical confidence, allowing adults to rewrite their relationship with their own voice. Many regular karaoke performers report that their willingness to sing in public has made them more confident in other areas of life as well. The psychology of karaoke audiences is equally fascinating. Good karaoke crowds understand intuitively that their role is to support and encourage performers, not to judge them critically. They cheer for effort as much as talent, sing along to familiar choruses, and provide the kind of unconditional positive regard that can be rare in adult life. This creates a feedback loop where enthusiastic audiences inspire confident performances, which in turn energize the crowd. The timing of karaoke performances reveals interesting patterns in how people manage their psychological comfort zones. Many singers need time to warm up, watching others perform, perhaps having a drink or two, gradually building the courage to put their name on the list. First-time performers often choose duets or group songs that allow them to share the spotlight and reduce individual pressure. Experienced karaoke singers learn to read the room and match their song choices to the energy and mood of the audience. The competitive aspects of karaoke, whether formal contests or informal attempts to follow that after an impressive performance, tap into achievement motivation and social comparison processes. But healthy karaoke culture emphasizes personal improvement and creative expression over direct competition. The real victory isn't singing better than everyone else, but singing better than you thought you could. Perhaps most powerfully, karaoke provides a rare opportunity for adults to experience beginner's mind. That childlike state of trying something without worrying about being perfect at it. In a culture that often values expertise and competence above all else, karaoke celebrates the amateur, the enthusiast, the person who sings simply because they love the song. This permission to be imperfect, to be learning, to be joyfully mediocre, can be profoundly liberating. The lasting psychological effects of regular karaoke participation often extend far beyond singing ability. People report increased confidence in public speaking, greater willingness to take creative risks, and improved ability to be present in the moment rather than worrying about potential embarrassment. The microphone becomes a teacher, and the lesson it offers is simple but profound. Your voice matters, your expression has value, and you deserve to be heard. Every karaoke venue develops its own culture over time, but beneath the surface variations lies a complex system of unwritten rules and social conventions that experienced performers understand intuitively. These aren't posted anywhere or explained in owners' manuals. They're the accumulated wisdom of millions of karaoke nights, passed down through observation, gentle correction, and occasionally awkward violations that serve as cautionary tales for everyone watching. The sacred rotation system forms the foundation of karaoke etiquette, and understanding its nuances separates the novices from the veterans. In theory, it's simple. Singers put their names on a list and perform in order. In practice, it's a delicate ecosystem of fairness, patience, and social dynamics that requires constant adjustment. The experienced karaoke host becomes part disc jockey, part diplomat, part therapist, managing not just the technical aspects of running songs, but the human dynamics of keeping everyone happy while they wait their turn. Good karaoke citizens understand that the list is sacred, but they also recognize when flexibility serves the greater good. If someone's visiting from out of town, celebrating a birthday, or clearly working up the courage for their first performance, gracious singers might offer to let them jump ahead in line. Conversely, performers who consistently show up early to claim multiple spots at the beginning of the rotation, then disappear until it's their turn, violate the spirit of community that makes karaoke work. Song selection reveals character in ways that participants might not even realize. There are the generous performers who choose crowd pleasers, songs that everyone knows and can sing along with, turning their individual performance into a group celebration. Sweet Caroline, Don't Stop Believin', and Livin' on a Prayer fall into this category, songs that transform the entire venue into a choir with one person holding the main microphone. Then there are the artistic risk-takers who choose obscure songs, deep album cuts, or pieces that showcase their genuine musical interests rather than their desire to please the crowd. These performances often create the most memorable moments. When someone's passionate rendition of an unknown song introduces the entire audience to something beautiful they'd never heard before. The unspoken rules around song length and difficulty level protect both performers and audiences from musical endurance tests. Experienced singers understand that Bohemian Rhapsody, while beloved, requires a special level of commitment and skill that not everyone possesses. Attempting Stairway to Heaven, when you're not prepared for its 8-minute emotional journey, can test everyone's patience. The considerate performer saves the epic songs for nights when they're confident in their ability to carry them off successfully. Microphone technique and stage presence follow their own code of conduct. Sharing the stage graciously when someone joins you for backup vocals, knowing when to encourage crowd participation and when to claim the spotlight for yourself, understanding how to handle technical difficulties with humor rather than frustration. These skills separate good karaoke performers from merely adequate ones. The relationship between performer and audience requires constant negotiation. The best karaoke singers read the room expertly, adjusting their energy level and song choices to match or enhance the crowd's mood. They understand when the evening calls for high-energy anthems and when it's time for intimate ballads. They know how to recover from a song that isn't working, how to gracefully exit the stage when technical problems occur, and how to share credit with an audience that's singing along enthusiastically. The etiquette of being a good audience member is equally important and often overlooked. Seasoned karaoke veterans understand that their job as audience members is to create an environment where everyone feels supported and encouraged. This means putting down phones during performances, offering genuine applause regardless of vocal ability, and singing along when invited but not overpowering the performer with their own vocals. There's a special code of conduct around song ownership that develops in regular karaoke communities. When someone becomes known for a particular song, the regular who always kills it with Purple Rain, or the couple who does a perfect duet of Islands in the Stream, other performers generally respect that unofficial claim. It's not a hard rule, but attempting someone else's signature song requires either exceptional confidence in your own version or explicit permission from the song's unofficial owner. The handling of mistakes and technical difficulties reveals the true character of both performers and audiences. The microphone cuts out mid-chorus, the wrong backing track starts playing, someone forgets the words to a song they were sure they knew. These moments test everyone's grace and humor. The best karaoke communities treat these mishaps as opportunities for collective problem-solving and shared laughter rather than sources of embarrassment. Group songs and duets require their own specialized etiquette. When someone invites you to join them on stage, you're accepting responsibility for knowing your parts, sharing the microphone appropriately, and supporting their performance even if they're struggling. The worst duet partners are those who use the opportunity to show off their own vocal abilities, rather than creating something collaborative and enjoyable. The question of tipping karaoke hosts varies by venue and region, but understanding the role these unsung heroes play in creating great karaoke experiences helps inform appropriate appreciation. Good hosts don't just play songs. They manage equipment, maintain energy levels, handle difficult customers, and often serve as the venue's primary customer service representative. They remember regular customers' favorite songs, help nervous first-timers choose appropriate selections, and somehow keep track of complex rotation systems while troubleshooting technical problems and dealing with song requests shouted over loud music. Perhaps the most important unwritten rule is the understanding that karaoke is fundamentally about inclusion and joy rather than competition and judgment. The singer who gets the loudest applause might be the one who clearly can't carry a tune, but chose a song they love and performed it with complete commitment and obvious pleasure. The goal isn't to be the best singer in the room. It's to contribute to an atmosphere where everyone feels welcome to express themselves through music. These social conventions serve a deeper purpose than just maintaining order in karaoke venues. They create the psychological safety that allows people to be vulnerable, to take creative risks, and to experience the transformative power of performance. When everyone follows these unspoken rules, karaoke becomes more than entertainment. It becomes a community ritual that celebrates human expression, supports individual courage, and creates connections between strangers who might never interact otherwise. Walk into any karaoke venue on a Saturday night and listen carefully to the song selections, and you'll hear the soundtrack of popular culture spanning 5 decades. The most requested karaoke songs aren't necessarily the biggest hits or the most critically acclaimed tracks. They're the songs that capture something universal about human emotion and experience, with melodies accessible enough for amateur singers and lyrics memorable enough to belt out with confidence after a few drinks. My Way deserves its place as perhaps the most iconic karaoke song of all time, not because of its technical accessibility. Those high notes in the final verse have humbled many confident performers, but because of its emotional resonance. Frank Sinatra's 1969 anthem of defiant independence speaks to something deep in the karaoke experience itself. When someone stands up in a small bar or rented party room to declare they did it my way, they're claiming ownership not just of the song, but of their own life story. The song's popularity transcends cultural boundaries, with versions recorded in dozens of languages and performed in karaoke venues from Tokyo to Toledo. The 1970s contributed anthems that remain karaoke staples today. Songs with simple, memorable melodies and universal themes that invite group participation. Sweet Caroline by Neil Diamond has become something approaching a religious experience in karaoke settings, with the Ba 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 section transforming every venue into Fenway Park during the 7th inning stretch. The song's genius lies in its interactive structure. Even people who don't know all the verses can participate enthusiastically in the call and response sections. Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody occupies a unique position in the karaoke pantheon as both beloved and feared. It's the Mount Everest of karaoke songs. Everyone wants to attempt it, but few are truly prepared for the commitment it requires. The song's 6-minute runtime, multiple tempo changes, and demanding vocal range make it a genuine challenge even for experienced singers. Yet when performed successfully, particularly as a group effort with different people taking different sections, it creates moments of pure karaoke magic that audiences remember for years. The 1980s brought a treasure trove of karaoke gold, with songs that perfectly balanced emotional intensity with melodic accessibility. Journey's Don't Stop Believin' has become perhaps the most unifying song in American karaoke culture, a blue-collar anthem about perseverance and hope that resonates across generational and demographic lines. Its slow build from intimate verses to soaring choruses gives performers time to warm up and audiences time to join in, creating a shared emotional experience that can transform a roomful of strangers into a temporary community. Bon Jovi's Livin' on a Prayer follows a similar formula, with its talkbox intro, narrative verses, and explosive chorus that practically demands audience participation. The song tells a specific story about Tommy and Gina, but its themes of economic struggle and romantic devotion speak to universal experiences. When performed with full commitment, it can turn any karaoke venue into a rock arena, with the audience providing stadium-level energy and the performer channeling their inner rock star. Female empowerment anthems have always held special power in karaoke settings, providing opportunities for performers to channel strength, independence, and attitude. Gloria Gaynor's I Will Survive serves as both personal declaration and group therapy session, with its disco beat making it impossible not to move, while its lyrics offer cathartic release for anyone who's ever overcome a difficult relationship or challenging period in their life. Aretha Franklin's Respect works similarly, transforming individual performances into collective statements of self-worth and dignity. The 1990s introduced alternative rock and hip-hop elements to karaoke culture, with songs like Alanis Morissette's You Oughta Know providing outlets for raw emotional expression. These songs attracted performers who wanted to showcase attitude and authenticity rather than pure vocal ability, expanding karaoke's appeal beyond traditional pop and rock fans. Country music's contribution to karaoke culture deserves special recognition for its storytelling tradition and emotional directness. Songs like Patsy Cline's Crazy, Kenny Rogers' The Gambler, and Dolly Parton's 9 to 5 offer performers the opportunity to inhabit complete characters and narratives. Country karaoke often brings out unexpected sides of urban performers, who discover they can channel rural sensibilities and working-class experiences through song. The evolution of popular karaoke songs reflects broader changes in music consumption and cultural values. Contemporary hits often have complex production values and rapid-fire lyrics that don't translate well to amateur performance, while older songs with simpler arrangements and more memorable melodies maintain their karaoke popularity decades after their initial release. Regional preferences reveal fascinating cultural insights. American karaoke tends to favor rock anthems and country classics, while British venues often feature pub sing-alongs and Britpop favorites. Asian karaoke culture embraces both local language hits and international standards, often with performers switching fluidly between languages within the same evening. The most enduring karaoke songs share certain characteristics. They have strong, memorable melodies that don't require exceptional vocal range, lyrics that are either universally relatable or easy to memorize, emotional content that allows performers to connect with the material personally, and musical structures that build to satisfying climaxes where audiences can participate enthusiastically. But perhaps the most important quality of great karaoke songs is their ability to transform ordinary people into performers. The best karaoke tracks aren't just songs. They're vehicles for self-expression, opportunities for transformation, and invitations to step outside your everyday self and become, for 3 minutes and 47 seconds, the person you've always wanted to be. They remind us that music's greatest power isn't technical perfection, but its ability to give voice to our deepest emotions and connect us with others who share those feelings. While most people think of karaoke as casual entertainment, there exists a parallel universe where amateur singers compete for cash prizes, recording contracts, and international recognition. Professional karaoke competitions operate with the seriousness of athletic tournaments, complete with judges, scoring systems, and competitors who train as intensively as Olympic athletes. This world reveals fascinating insights into what happens when the playful, inclusive spirit of karaoke meets the focused intensity of organized competition. The World Karaoke Championships, held annually in different international locations, represents the pinnacle of competitive karaoke. Contestants from dozens of countries compete in various categories: solo performances, duets, group performances, and sometimes specialized divisions for different age groups or musical genres. The scoring combines technical vocal ability with stage presence, song interpretation, and audience engagement, creating a complex evaluation system that attempts to quantify what makes a compelling karaoke performance. Watching professional karaoke competitors perform reveals how much skill and preparation can elevate the basic karaoke experience. These performers don't just sing songs, they craft complete entertainments, with choreographed movements, costume changes, and theatrical interpretations that transform familiar tunes into elaborate productions. A competitive performance of My Way might include dramatic lighting effects, carefully planned gestures that emphasize key lyrics, and vocal techniques borrowed from musical theater and concert performance. The training regimens of serious karaoke competitors would surprise casual performers. Many work with vocal coaches to expand their range and improve their technique, study music theory to better understand song structures, and practice regularly with professional-grade equipment to perfect their microphone technique and stage presence. Some maintain extensive repertoires of 200 or more songs, each one rehearsed and refined to competition standards. The psychology of competitive karaoke differs significantly from recreational singing. While casual karaoke celebrates imperfection and participation, competitive karaoke demands excellence and precision. Contestants must manage performance anxiety on a much larger scale. Instead of singing for friends in a familiar bar, they're performing for judges and audiences who are specifically evaluating their abilities. This pressure can either elevate performances to remarkable heights or cause experienced singers to falter under the intensity of formal competition. Television has played a crucial role in popularizing competitive karaoke, with shows like Star Search, American Idol, and International Variations broadcasting karaoke-style competitions to millions of viewers. These programs have created pathways from amateur karaoke performance to professional music careers, with some contestants parlaying competition success into recording contracts and concert tour. The shows have also influenced recreational karaoke culture, as casual singers adopt techniques and presentation styles they've seen on television. The karaoke host profession represents another form of professional karaoke involvement. Experienced hosts combine the skills of a DJ, entertainer, sound engineer, and social coordinator, managing the technical aspects of karaoke while also maintaining energy levels and encouraging audience participation. The best karaoke hosts become local celebrities, with regular customers following them from venue to venue and requesting specific songs that showcase the host's particular talents and humor. Professional karaoke hosting requires a unique skill set that goes far beyond simply operating karaoke equipment. Hosts must read crowds expertly, knowing when to encourage shy performers and when to gently redirect attention-seeking singers who might monopolize the microphone. They need extensive musical knowledge to help customers find songs they'll enjoy and can perform successfully, technical troubleshooting abilities to handle equipment problems gracefully, and the social skills to manage diverse groups of people who may have very different expectations for their evening's entertainment. The economics of professional karaoke create interesting market dynamics. Karaoke bars and entertainment venues rely on hosts who can create atmospheres that encourage customers to stay longer, drink more, and return regularly. The most successful venues often build their business around popular hosts, understanding that customers develop loyalty to entertainers as much as to locations. This has led to competitive compensation packages for talented hosts and even exclusive contracts that prevent them from working at competing venues. Corporate karaoke events represent another professional application, with specialized companies providing equipment, song libraries, and hosting services for office parties, conventions, and team-building exercises. These events require hosts who can adapt to different corporate cultures and encourage participation from groups who might be more reserved than typical bar patrons. The challenge lies in creating the fun, relaxed atmosphere of casual karaoke while respecting professional boundaries and workplace appropriateness. The judging criteria for competitive karaoke reveal interesting tensions between technical ability and entertainment value. Judges must balance vocal accuracy and musical skill against stage presence and audience engagement, sometimes finding that the most technically proficient performers aren't necessarily the most entertaining. This reflects broader questions about the purpose and value of karaoke. Is it primarily about musical performance, or is it about entertainment and community building? International variations in competitive karaoke reflect different cultural values and musical traditions. Japanese competitions often emphasize precision and respect for the original song arrangements, while American contests may reward creativity and personal interpretation. European competitions sometimes include categories for different languages, recognizing the multilingual nature of many karaoke communities. The rise of social media has created new forms of competitive karaoke, with performers posting videos on platforms like TikTok and YouTube to compete for views, likes, and subscriber counts. These digital competitions operate without formal judging, but create their own metrics of success based on audience engagement and viral potential. Some social media karaoke stars have built significant followings and even launched professional music careers based on their online karaoke performances. Yet even in its most competitive forms, karaoke retains something of its fundamental democratic spirit. Professional competitions often include amateur categories that welcome newcomers, and many champions emphasize that their goal is to encourage others to sing rather than simply to showcase their own abilities. The best competitive karaoke events manage to celebrate excellence while maintaining the inclusive, supportive atmosphere that makes karaoke special in its most casual forms. Not every karaoke night ends with group hugs and newfound friendships. Beneath the surface of this generally joyful phenomenon lies a complex landscape of human behavior that can turn ugly when alcohol, ego, and public performance collide. The same psychological forces that make karaoke transformative and liberating can also unleash jealousy, aggression, and social tensions that occasionally explode into conflicts that range from merely awkward to genuinely dangerous. Karaoke rage represents the most extreme manifestation of these darker impulses. The phenomenon has been documented worldwide, with incidents ranging from heated arguments over song choices to physical altercations that result in serious injuries. In some cases, the violence stems from perceived disrespect. Someone singing another person's signature song, interrupting a performance, or showing insufficient appreciation for a singer's efforts. The microphone becomes a symbol of power and status, and challenges to that authority can trigger disproportionate responses. The most infamous karaoke-related incidents have occurred in the Philippines, where the song My Way has been associated with numerous violent confrontations. The phenomenon became so widespread that some karaoke venues removed the song from their systems entirely, and local media began referring to My Way killings as a recognized social problem. Researchers have struggled to explain why this particular song triggers such extreme reactions, with theories ranging from its association with machismo culture to the challenging vocal demands that can lead to embarrassment and loss of face. The psychology behind karaoke-related aggression often involves the collision of public performance with personal insecurity. When someone's karaoke performance is mocked, ignored, or interrupted, they may experience it as a fundamental attack on their self-worth. The same vulnerability that makes karaoke transformative for many people makes others extremely defensive about their performances. Add alcohol to reduce inhibitions, and you have a volatile combination that can explode unexpectedly. Competition for microphone time creates another source of tension in karaoke venues. The rotation system that seems fair in principle can break down when personalities clash, when someone monopolizes the stage, or when groups with different expectations for the evening find themselves sharing the same space. Regular customers may feel entitled to priority treatment, while occasional visitors might expect equal access. Managing these competing interests requires diplomatic skills that not all venue operators possess. The business side of karaoke faces its own ethical challenges, particularly around the complex world of music licensing and copyright law. Karaoke companies must navigate agreements with music publishers, recording labels, and performing rights organizations to legally use copyrighted songs. The costs of proper licensing can be substantial, leading some operators to use unlicensed backing tracks or bootleg karaoke systems that technically constitute copyright infringement on a massive scale. The international nature of karaoke complicates licensing further, with different countries having different copyright laws and enforcement mechanisms. A song that's legally available for karaoke use in one country might be restricted in another, leading to confusion and potential legal liability for venue operators who don't understand the complex web of international music rights. The decline of traditional karaoke bars in some markets reflects broader economic and cultural shifts that have little to do with the appeal of singing itself. Rising commercial rents, changing social habits, competition from home entertainment systems, and generational differences in how people prefer to socialize have all contributed to the closure of karaoke venues that once thrived. The COVID-19 pandemic accelerated these trends, with many karaoke bars unable to survive extended closures and capacity restrictions. Some of the social problems associated with karaoke stem from the environments where it's offered rather than the activity itself. Venues that primarily serve alcohol and stay open late into the night naturally attract some customers whose judgment becomes impaired as the evening progresses. The combination of intoxicated performers, loud music, and the emotional intensity of musical performance can create situations that sober patrons and responsible venue management must navigate carefully. The technology that enables karaoke also creates opportunities for exploitation and harassment. Hidden cameras in private karaoke rooms have been discovered in various countries, with footage sometimes posted online without performers' consent. The intimate nature of karaoke rooms and the vulnerability of amateur performance create situations where people can be taken advantage of by unscrupulous venue operators or other customers. Gender dynamics in karaoke venues sometimes reflect broader social inequalities and tensions. Female performers may face different expectations and types of attention than male singers, with some experiencing unwanted advances or comments about their appearance rather than their musical performance. The social pressure to perform certain types of songs or adopt particular personas can limit the freedom of expression that karaoke is supposed to provide. Age discrimination occasionally surfaces in karaoke communities, with different generations having different musical preferences and performance styles that don't always mix harmoniously. Younger singers may feel that older patrons dominate the rotation with outdated song choices, while older customers might view contemporary music selections as too loud, crude, or incomprehensible. These generational tensions can create unwelcoming atmospheres that drive away potential participants. The commercialization of karaoke has sometimes led to the loss of the community-oriented culture that made it special in the first place. Corporate-owned chains may prioritize efficiency and profit over the personal relationships and local character that distinguished neighborhood karaoke bars. The standardization of equipment, song libraries, and even venue design can create sterile experiences that lack the warmth and personality of independently operated establishments. Yet even acknowledging these darker aspects of karaoke culture, it's important to recognize that they represent the exception rather than the rule. The vast majority of karaoke experiences remain positive, supportive, and transformative. The problems that do arise often stem from broader social issues: alcohol abuse, inequality, economic pressures, that manifest in karaoke venues but aren't created by the activity itself. The most successful karaoke communities develop informal mechanisms for addressing problems before they escalate. Experienced hosts learn to recognize signs of potential trouble and intervene diplomatically. Regular customers often self-police their communities, gently correcting behavior that threatens the inclusive atmosphere everyone values. Venue operators who understand the social dynamics of karaoke create policies and physical environments that discourage problematic behavior while encouraging positive interactions. Understanding these challenges helps explain why great karaoke venues and communities are precious resources worth protecting and supporting. They represent spaces where the better angels of human nature generally prevail, where strangers support each other's vulnerable moments, and where the simple act of singing together creates connections that transcend the differences that might otherwise divide us. The living room has become the new karaoke stage, transformed by technology that would have seemed like science fiction to the creators of those first analog karaoke machines. Picture a typical suburban evening in 2023. Children gathered around a 65-inch television, wireless microphones in hand, competing for the best score on the latest karaoke video game while parents prepare snacks in the kitchen. The sounds of Let It Go and Old Town Road drift through the house, mixing childhood innocence with digital precision in ways that capture both the evolution of technology and the timeless appeal of singing together. The home karaoke revolution began quietly in the 1990s with dedicated karaoke machines designed for consumer use. Simplified versions of professional equipment that could connect to home television sets and play specialized karaoke CDs. These early systems required significant investment and took up considerable space, limiting their appeal to serious enthusiasts. But they planted the seeds for what would become a transformation in how families and friends experience karaoke together. The breakthrough came with gaming consoles that integrated karaoke functionality into existing entertainment systems. Nintendo's Wii, Microsoft's Xbox, and Sony's PlayStation began offering karaoke games that turned singing into interactive entertainment, complete with scoring systems, visual feedback, and multiplayer competitions. Suddenly, karaoke wasn't something you did occasionally at bars or parties. It became a regular form of home entertainment that could bring families together around shared musical experiences. The technology enabling home karaoke has become remarkably sophisticated while simultaneously becoming more accessible and affordable. Modern systems can access cloud-based song libraries containing hundreds of thousands of tracks, updated regularly with new releases. Voice recognition software provides real-time feedback on pitch accuracy, timing, and vocal technique, turning every performance into a learning opportunity. High-definition displays show synchronized lyrics with animated backgrounds that rival professional karaoke venues. The COVID-19 pandemic accelerated the adoption of home karaoke systems, as people sought entertainment options that didn't require leaving their houses or gathering in public spaces. Sales of karaoke equipment surged as families looked for ways to recreate the social experiences they missed from bars, restaurants, and party venues. Video conferencing platforms adapted to support virtual karaoke parties, allowing friends separated by distance or quarantine restrictions to sing together online. The psychological dynamics of home karaoke differ significantly from public performance. The privacy and comfort of familiar surroundings encourage experimentation and risk-taking that might be intimidating in public venues. Children especially benefit from this safe environment, developing confidence and musical skills without the pressure of performing for strangers. Family karaoke sessions often become treasured memories, with grandparents teaching grandchildren songs from their youth while learning contemporary hits in return. The convenience of home systems has democratized karaoke access for people who might never visit traditional karaoke venues. Those with mobility challenges, social anxiety, or simply busy schedules that don't accommodate nighttime entertainment can still experience the joy and therapeutic benefits of singing. Parents with young children can enjoy karaoke without arranging childcare or staying out past bedtime. The elimination of travel, cover charges, and drink minimums makes karaoke accessible to families and individuals on limited budgets. Smartphone apps have further revolutionized home karaoke by eliminating the need for specialized equipment entirely. Apps like Smule, StarMaker, and Karaoke Mugen turn any phone or tablet into a portable karaoke machine, complete with professional backing tracks, vocal effects, and social sharing capabilities. These platforms create global communities of amateur singers who can collaborate on duets with people they've never met, located thousands of miles away. The social media integration of modern home karaoke systems reflects broader changes in how people share entertainment experiences. Performances can be recorded and shared instantly on platforms like TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, turning family karaoke sessions into potential viral content. This connectivity has created new forms of karaoke community, where people share their home performances with global audiences and receive feedback and encouragement from strangers around the world. The educational potential of home karaoke systems has attracted attention from music teachers and therapists who recognize their value for developing vocal skills, building confidence, and creating positive associations with musical performance. Children who might be intimidated by formal music lessons often embrace karaoke games enthusiastically, unconsciously learning about pitch, rhythm, and musical expression through play. Speech therapists have begun using karaoke technology to help patients with various communication challenges improve their vocal control and confidence. The quality gap between home and professional karaoke systems continues to narrow as consumer technology becomes more sophisticated. High-end home systems now feature professional-grade microphones, advanced audio processing, and room acoustic optimization that can rival commercial installations. The convenience and privacy advantages of home systems increasingly outweigh the social energy and variety that public venues provide. The rise of smart home technology has created new possibilities for integrating karaoke into daily life. Voice-activated systems can queue up karaoke tracks on command, while smart lighting can create atmosphere that matches the mood of different songs. Some systems learn users' preferences and suggest new songs based on their previous choices, creating personalized karaoke experiences that adapt to individual tastes and vocal abilities. The environmental impact of home karaoke systems represents a more sustainable approach to entertainment than venue-based experiences that require travel, energy-intensive lighting and sound systems, and disposable items like printed songbooks. A single home karaoke system can provide years of entertainment for entire families, with digital song libraries eliminating the waste associated with physical media. Yet the rise of home karaoke also raises questions about the loss of communal experiences and social connections that public venues provide. The strangers-turned-friends dynamic that makes bar karaoke special can't be replicated in living room settings. The courage required to sing in front of unfamiliar audiences and the validation that comes from their approval represent irreplaceable aspects of the traditional karaoke experience. The most successful home karaoke experiences often combine the best of both worlds, using the privacy and convenience of home systems to build confidence and skills that can then be shared in social settings. Families who sing together at home often become more enthusiastic participants in public karaoke events, bringing their practiced performances and collaborative spirit to venue-based experiences. The future of home karaoke likely lies in increasingly seamless integration with broader entertainment ecosystems, where singing becomes just one of many interactive media experiences available at the touch of a button or voice command. As virtual and augmented reality technologies mature, home karaoke might evolve to provide immersive experiences that transport singers to virtual stages, concert halls, or recording studios, blending the intimacy of home performance with the excitement of professional venues. Close your eyes and imagine stepping into a karaoke venue in 2035. The microphone in your hand feels familiar, but everything else has been transformed by technologies that are just beginning to emerge today. Artificial intelligence has learned your vocal range, your favorite genres, and your emotional state from biometric sensors woven invisibly into your clothing. The system suggests songs that match not just your musical preferences, but your current mood, the energy level of the audience, and even the weather outside. When you begin to sing, real-time vocal processing doesn't just add reverb. It subtly corrects pitch, adjusts timing, and enhances your natural voice in ways so sophisticated that you sound like the best possible version of yourself without losing your authentic character. The visual experience surrounding your performance has evolved far beyond simple lyric displays. Augmented reality contact lenses project lyrics directly into your field of vision, while simultaneously displaying the reactions of audience members, the rhythm and melody of the song as flowing visual patterns, and even suggestions for gestures and movements that match the music's emotional content. The room itself becomes part of the performance, with smart surfaces that change color, texture, and even apparent shape to create immersive environments that match each song's theme and mood. Artificial intelligence's role in the future of karaoke extends far beyond song recommendations and vocal enhancement. Advanced machine learning algorithms will analyze the acoustic properties of each venue in real time, automatically adjusting audio settings for optimal sound quality regardless of room size, crowd noise, or architectural challenges. AI vocal coaches will provide instant, personalized feedback through discrete earpieces, offering suggestions for breathing, phrasing, and emotional expression that help singers improve with each performance. The democratization of music creation through AI will revolutionize karaoke's relationship with popular music. Instead of being limited to existing songs, future karaoke systems will generate custom backing tracks in any style, allowing performers to sing original lyrics to professional quality arrangements created on demand. Collaborative AI will enable groups of friends to create original songs together during karaoke sessions, with the system suggesting chord progressions, melodies, and arrangements that complement each participant's vocal abilities and preferences. Virtual and augmented reality technologies will transform the spatial experience of karaoke in ways that seem impossible today. Private karaoke rooms will offer infinite virtual environments, performing on the stage at Madison Square Garden, in an intimate jazz club, or even in fantastical settings that exist only in digital space. Shared virtual reality will allow friends separated by continents to sing together in the same virtual venue, complete with realistic spatial audio and haptic feedback that makes the experience feel genuinely communal despite the physical distance. The social connectivity of future karaoke systems will create global communities of amateur singers linked by shared musical interests, rather than geographic proximity. Real-time translation technology will enable seamless collaboration between speakers of different languages, with lyrics automatically translated while preserving the rhythm and emotion of the original songs. Cultural exchange through karaoke will become a form of soft diplomacy, as people around the world share their musical traditions and learn about other cultures through collaborative performance. Biometric monitoring integrated into future karaoke systems will provide insights into the emotional and physiological effects of singing that could revolutionize our understanding of music's therapeutic potential. Sensors measuring heart rate, stress hormones, brain activity, and other biomarkers will demonstrate scientifically how karaoke affects mental health, social bonding, and overall well-being. This data could lead to prescription karaoke, medical professionals recommending specific songs and performance experiences as treatment for depression, anxiety, social isolation, and other health challenges. The personalization capabilities of future karaoke systems will create experiences tailored to each individual's musical journey and development goals. Advanced AI will track your vocal progress over time, suggest exercises and songs that challenge you appropriately, and celebrate improvements in technique, confidence, and artistic expression. Gamification elements will reward not just vocal accuracy, but also creativity, emotional authenticity, and the ability to connect with audiences. Environmental and sustainability considerations will shape the future of karaoke venues and equipment. Solar-powered outdoor karaoke installations will bring singing to parks, beaches, and community spaces. Biodegradable microphones and other equipment will reduce the environmental impact of the industry. Energy-efficient systems will make karaoke accessible in remote areas and developing regions where traditional entertainment infrastructure isn't economically viable. The integration of karaoke with broader entertainment ecosystems will create seamless transitions between different forms of media consumption and participation. The song you sing at karaoke might automatically be added to your personal music streaming playlist, along with similar tracks recommended by AI analysis of your performance style and emotional response. Your karaoke performances might influence the music recommendations you receive on streaming services, creating a feedback loop between passive listening and active participation. Professional music industry integration will create new pathways for amateur singers to develop and showcase their talents. Talent scouts using AI analysis will identify promising performers in karaoke venues around the world, offering development opportunities and recording contracts based on algorithmic assessment of commercial potential. Virtual auditions through karaoke systems will make professional opportunities accessible to singers regardless of their geographic location or economic circumstances. The educational applications of future karaoke technology will transform music education and therapy. Specialized systems will help children with developmental challenges improve speech and social skills through musical interaction. Language learning programs will use karaoke to teach pronunciation, vocabulary, and cultural context through popular music. Music therapy applications will provide precisely calibrated experiences for patients with various neurological and psychological conditions. Yet perhaps the most important aspect of karaoke's future lies not in technological advancement, but in preserving the human elements that make it special. The courage to sing in front of others, the vulnerability of public performance, the joy of shared musical experience. These fundamentally human aspects of karaoke will remain constant even as the technology evolves dramatically. The microphone will still represent an invitation to transform yourself through song, and the audience will still provide the validation and support that make that transformation meaningful. The challenge for the future of karaoke will be ensuring that advancing technology enhances, rather than replaces, the authentic human connections that lie at the heart of great karaoke experiences. The most sophisticated AI vocal processing will mean nothing without the emotional authenticity that comes from a singer's genuine connection to the music. The most immersive virtual reality environments will feel empty without real human audiences providing encouragement and shared enjoyment. As karaoke continues to evolve, it will likely become even more central to how people experience and interact with music. The passive consumption of recorded music that defined much of the 20th century will give way to increasingly interactive and participatory musical experiences. Karaoke, in all its future forms, will remain a bridge between professional entertainment and personal expression, between individual artistry and community celebration, between the music we listen to and the music we become by singing it ourselves. Tonight, we've journeyed together through the remarkable story of karaoke. From that first moment in 1971, when Daisuke Inoue handed a businessman a tape recorder and accidentally changed the world, to the AI-enhanced virtual reality experiences that may await us in the decades to come. We've explored the technology that makes the magic possible, the psychology that makes it irresistible, and the cultural forces that have carried this simple idea from Japanese coffee shops to living rooms and concert halls across every continent. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the history of karaoke. If you're already asleep, then our mission is complete. But if you're still awake, perhaps another deep dive will carry you gently into slumber. Until we meet again in these quiet hours, may your voice always find its courage. May your songs always find their audience, and may you always remember that in this vast symphony of existence, your voice, however imperfect, however humble, deserves to be heard.